So zero search volume keywords, and I should pre-format this by saying is they're not all zero. They're 0/low volume search keywords. And by low, I mean kind of like 10 searches a month, 20 searches a month, that kind of thing, or zero. So what is that? That typically means they don't show up in Ahrefs or SEMrush and have low volume. So if you put a low volume a low volume keyword into Ahrefs, sometimes it'll be there and it'll show up as like 0 clicks, 0 searches a month, or 10 searches a month. Or sometimes it'll even come up and say this keyword is not in our database. So sometimes they're just literally not even in there. Typically, they're long tail question-based keywords, not always, but typically like a 0 search volume keyword is like a long tail, usually a question-based keyword. And often if you Google them, the results on the SERPs are forums. These can be niche specific if there's forums that cover that specific topic, like it could be a pet forum or something, or it could be a general forum like Quora or Reddit, those kinds of almost like user-generated content websites. The other thing with zero search volume keywords is that lots of people skip over them, meaning they're underserved topics. And basically, because the tools either don't show them, they're not in the tools, or someone sees them in the tools and thinks, I'm not writing a piece of content for a keyword that gets 10 searches a month. Lots of people just skip them. And that means, one, they're underserved because there's not a ton of people talking about them, but also the competition typically is really, really low because Google struggles to find the answers. That's why they put up forum-based SERPs in the results, because the best answer they can find is usually like 100-word user-generated answer on Reddit or Quora. And then the last point before we go further is there's opportunity here to cluster these together to create larger pieces of content. So just because you found a zero search volume keyword, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to write a piece of content dedicated specifically to that keyword. If you can find lots of them that are related, you can cluster them together and group them together and use them as subheadings in the article, or basically use them throughout the piece of content. And we'll get onto the process of how we do that in a bit, but there's the opportunity to cluster them together and group these keywords together into long form content typically.